that rejection breeds obsession. I have a whole chapter on rejection breeds obsession and forget biash. Still can't say it. We're not at the 8-minute mark. We can't be adults yet. But every time you stay stuck obsessing over her, you're lowering your value. You're lowering your own perceived value, especially if you're constantly reaching out to her, trying to fix things, trying to like rekindle that. Like, hey, if I just send her one more text, if I just word it just right, if I get ChatGPT to word it just right, you're lowering your value. It's at least in her eyes. You're lowering your perceived value, right? This is what simping looks like. And when you're constantly seeking her validation, it rewires your mind for weakness. It keeps you weak. Validation ends up being your drug. You end up being sort of addicted to it. The dopamine hits of her replying to your text. You get that notification warning or notification alert on your phone, and you're like, oh, my love of my life, is she finally coming back to me? And that becomes your drug. You sort of become addicted to it. And each approval hit reinforces the belief that your worth depends on external acceptance, not internal standards. You're looking for her for your value now. And it conditions you to chase rather than setting the tone and leading and letting her climb on board and following you. You're chasing her. It's completely unattractive behavior, right? Instead of living on your terms, you're constantly adjusting yourself to win approval, which weakens your sense of identity. You don't even know who you are without her in your life. Drop a 1 in the chat if you know a guy like this, okay? Maybe you are that guy and you don't want to admit it, but you know a guy like that. Let's just say you know a guy like that. Drop a 1 in the chat. I know at least 10 guys like this from my own like original 3% man group. Like there was guys like that. That's how they ended up in the group. They were chasing after that validation from an ex. Yeah, and a lot of their exes were toxic, right? We are past the 8-minute mark. Yes. Okay. And your emotional baseline shifts, right? You become reactive, anxious, and approval dependent, training your brain to equate peace and self-worth with someone else's opinion. That's got to be the weakest position to be in, to put yourself in. Don't you agree? It's the classic happy wife, happy life paradigm that almost all of us are raised with, right? Happy wife, happy life. Am I right, boys? Well, that paradigm keeps you dancing around looking for her approval all the time, and you're operating in her frame, and you lose yourself in that. And then when she dumps you, you don't even know who you are anymore. Who are you going to dance around for? Trying to make them happy all the time. Here's one of the biggest things that guys just don't understand. And I talk about it. I talk about it in the book because it is a red pill guide. I do have to give a shout out to The Godfather. I talk about Iron Rule of Tomasi number 7, right? Which is it's always better time and effort spent finding new women than it is getting back with an ex. That's a paraphrase. You didn't quote him exactly. How dare you? But it's right. And one of the reasons why is once that relationship ends, she has a preconceived notion of who you are and what you're about. And trying to change that perception is near impossible. Even if you do get back with her, it's just constant testing, constant nagging, constant waiting for you to f up and fail. And so you think you were walking on eggshells before? Wait until you get back with her, brother. And every text you send after the breakup, it just reinforces her decision in her mind. Like, God, this guy's weak. God, this guy can't move on. What a weakling. No wonder I dumped him. Oh, thank God I dumped him. Is this hitting hard? Let me know if it's hitting hard for some of you guys. Let's talk about nice guy syndrome and how it cultivates dependency. Now, I did a whole episode about breakups and getting over nice guy syndrome, not this past week, but last week, right? Because there's a whole chapter on getting over nice guy syndrome in the book, right? But nice guy syndrome is rooted in this thing we call covert contracts, where you're giving affection and favors and flowers and doing the dishes and compliance, all expecting love and loyalty in return, but you never actually state your needs directly. You know, this is one thing I joke with Nurse Chick about, because she tunes into all the podcasts. In fact, hold on, Nurse Chick's here. We got to give her. We got to give her the.
So naughty.
I'm going to come.
Yes, I am. By the way, Nurse Chick, you guys can find her on X now. I retweet her stuff all the time. She retweets my stuff. She scratches my back. This is covert contract. Just kidding. No, one of the things though, because Nurse Chick tunes into this stuff, she's read all the books. She has her son read all my books, and she's read all the books and stuff too. I like to joke with her. If she asks a favor of me, I usually reply back, yes, but I expect sex. Hashtag covert contract or something like that. Just try to make a joke of how guys think, right? But most guys, most nice guys anyway, when a girl asks them to do something, they jump at it because they're like, ooh, if I do this, I'm going to get on her good side and I might get sex. It's a covert contract. Okay. Now, if a chick says, hey, I need you to do X, Y, and Z, and be like, okay, but you better give me that ass later. Right. And then she goes, oh, I'm not going to give you that. Okay, fine. Well, I'm going to do it. Right. Like that's that's more direct communication. At least she knows what the price is for your duties. But that nice guy syndrome, it creates emotional dependency, right? Your sense of worth hinges on being needed, liked, or validated by a woman, making rejection feel like a personal collapse, right? Oh, I've done all this stuff for her, and now she just rejected me after all the nice things I did, all these great nice things. We're there for you, Ray. We're there for you, brother. There for you. And it sabotages authenticity, right? You suppress your true thoughts and desires to avoid conflict, training yourself to be passive, agreeable, and ultimately invisible. How many of you guys, drop a one in the chat, how many have said the words, I pick my battles. I pick my battles, right? That's classic nice guy behavior where you are almost afraid to assert boundaries because you're afraid of rocking the boat. Oh, I don't want to rock. I don't want her pissed at me. Oh, I don't want her mad at me. I don't want to get into a fight. I want to start an argument. That's nice guy behavior. If you're afraid of accidentally upsetting her in some way, that's nice guy behavior. And it keeps you operating in her frame. I often put out videos. I mean, it's one of my favorite analogies, right? When you talk about the dinner debates, and I put out videos saying, hey, don't ask your wife what she wants to eat. Just tell her where you're going to eat. And like 97% of the guys in the comments will be like, well, if I do that, she's going to get pissed at me, or I'm going to pick the wrong place. She's going to get mad at me. Like, why are you so afraid of her emotions, bro? Nice guy syndrome. That's why. Now, if you want to heal, you're going to need some emotional detachment. It's essential for strength. It shifts you from needing validation to choosing relationships from a place of wholeness, right? You're already complete. She will not complete you. She will not complete you. Man, may whoever wrote the script for Jerry Maguire burn in eternal hell. the you complete me and you had me at hello. It's so romantic. It's bullshit. She cannot complete you. You have to be a complete whole person. She can only ever complement your life. That's it, right? Dr. Glover says it really well. You have to bake a great cake of a life for yourself. She can only ever be the icing on it. She can never be the cake itself. But a lot of you guys have made these women your entire world. She completes you, bro. And when she dumps you, it wrecks you. You can't do that anymore. Okay. This book is going to help you get past that. Yes, you got dumped. Yes, it sucks. Don't let anyone tell you it doesn't suck. But now you've got to step back a little bit and you got to start working on building a great cake of a life for yourself. And once you do that, once you're complete on your own and you have a badass life that you love, whether she's here or not, and if she comes or doesn't come, like you're still going to go do the shit that you like to do, that's when you never have to deal with this shit again. Detachment protects your identity. You maintain self-respect and avoid traps of codependency and emotional erosion. When you have a great cake of a life and she's just not getting on board, kick rocks then. Kick rocks. I have a badass life. I'm not dropping all this stuff for you. You don't want it? Fine. It. There's going to be another girl out there. There's always another woman, right? Smash that like button if you understand that there's always another woman. It promotes internal stability through self-soothing, goal setting, and mindset work. You become your own source of peace and power. A lot of the times, you know, guys talk about, I want a woman who brings me peace, bro, right? The MGTOW guys, especially they don't want a woman in their life because they don't want their peace disturbed. Now, I always say the same thing to both sets of guys, right? I want a woman that brings me peace, and I don't want a woman to disturb my peace. Peace comes from within. It starts up here in your mindset. You got to work on this, and then no woman will ever disturb your peace. And you also want to understand no woman will ever truly bring you peace. Women only bring you drama and chaos. Okay. But if you have a good frame, if you have a good mindset about things, their nonsense doesn't rock you. It doesn't shake you. In fact, it's kind of adorable that they're having all these crazy problems. Oh, that's adorable that you're going through all that right now. Oh, man. Guys, coming up next, what if I told you she didn't leave because you weren't good enough, but because you proved you weren't by how you acted? In the next segment, I'm going to tell you the real reason she walked away and how your own story about the breakup is keeping you weak, stuck, and invisible to every high-value woman you meet. Don't go anywhere. In the meantime, guys, follow me on social media. The links are in the description. I'm trying to build up my X account, so follow me on X. Okay, the link's down there in the description. I'm at Come On Man Pod on X. I'm either at Come On Man Pod or at Come On Man Podcast on all platforms. And I also have a backup account on TikTok. It's at Best Men's Pod. That's my backup account. Guys, get on my email list. Grab the free ebook. Fine, here's how to get her back, or She's Made You Weak. One of those two. The link's in the description for that. You can also get all my full books. They're available on Amazon or Audible. And the latest one dropped today. Forget That Bitch. You can grab that here. Let me drop a link to it here in the chat. I haven't made a cool commercial for that yet. So let's see here. Does this sound like you? Does this sound like you? You're still stuck replaying the breakup in your head, wondering what you could have said, done, or changed to keep her? Forget That Bitch isn't just another breakup book. It's a wake-up call. It shatters the lies you've been fed about love, loyalty, and masculine worth, and gives you the truth you need to rebuild your frame, mindset, power. It's all here. Inside, you'll learn how to erase her emotional grip, reclaim your frame, and become the kind of man who doesn't chase, he chooses. And for those ready to go deeper, the accompanying workbook guides you step by step through a transformation that sticks. Get your copy today. It's available in paperback, hardcover, Kindle, and sometime this weekend or on Monday, Audible. It's not about forgetting her. It's about remembering you, brother. All right, grab that now. Let's talk about emotional wounds and stories we tell ourselves. What if I told you that she left because she saw weakness and you fed that weakness? You fed that belief in your weakness, that how she saw you. And if you're still texting her after the breakup, you're still feeding it, brother. It's story time with Paul Bebe. There was a guy. Let's call him Marcus. Marcus wasn't a loser. He had a decent job. He hit the gym 3 times a week. He wasn't bad looking, but when he fell for his ex, he fell hard. Like most guys, he didn't see it happening. He just slipped deeper into it. Slowly, his frame started bending around hers. He stopped hanging with his friends. He stopped doing things he loved because she didn't like them. Even his playlists started to change. Then one random Tuesday, she ghosted him. No fight. No closure, just silence. And that silence was louder than any breakup speech ever could have been. Marcus went into what I call salvage mode. You might have been there. He started rereading old texts, obsessing over what he said or did wrong, binge watching Get Her Back videos on YouTube, journaling like a monk trying to find meaning in heartbreak. He hit the gym harder, bought better clothes, even got a new haircut she once said would look good on him. But all of it wasn't for Marcus. It was a performance. Every self-improvement move was secretly a love letter to her. He was building a version of himself for her attention, not his own pride. 6 months into this crusade, Marcus is out grabbing coffee, feeling kind of proud of how far he's come physically. He's leaner, sharper, cleaner. He steps out of the cafe, and there she is. Not just with another guy, but laughing like nothing ever happened. Like he was a joke that ended last season. And in that instant, his world collapsed again. But this time, something shifted. He didn't feel anger, not really. What he felt was clarity. He realized he had been training his mind and body like a man in jail, carving tallies into the wall, counting the days until her return. And in doing that, he stayed just as trapped. That moment, standing on the sidewalk, watching her disappear with someone else, was the first time Marcus actually broke up with her. The real breakup wasn't the day she ghosted him. It was the day he stopped ghosting himself. He went home, wiped his whiteboard clean of all of his get her back goals, and wrote a new one: win yourself back. From then on, every rep at the gym, every early morning, every journal entry wasn't for her, it was for him. He read not to impress, but to grow. He trained not for her eyes, but for his mirror. And when he did that, he didn't just heal, he evolved. If you think about it, when you're trying to get your ex back, you're trying to build a mansion on a foundation of ash.
New episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Subscribe now.